Have you ever tried to change a habit? Have you ever tried to support someone else who is trying to change? Or maybe you've struggled to understand why someone was not making changes that seemed obvious to you and the other people around them. Change can be hard. Understanding how change happens is the first step in developing your own plans for change and in supporting other people through change. There are lots of different theories and models of change. The one we'll look at in this video is the transtheoretical model of change, or TMC for short. Transtheoretical just means it works across different theories of change. Because of that, it's one of the most common and most useful. It's useful because the model makes sense in lots of different situations. The transtheoretical model of change was originally developed as an explanation of how people changed their use of harmful substances like tobacco, alcohol, and drugs. It's also helpful in situations like changing other health-related habits, such as diet, exercise, and medication compliance. It even works for making changes in relationships. The transtheoretical model of change uses 6 stages to define a typical change process. Stage 1 is called pre-contemplation. To contemplate is to think about something. So at this stage, people are pre-thinking. They're not thinking about changing a behavior. Other people may think they need to change, and at some level they themselves may know that what they are doing is harmful or not in their best interest. However, they are not thinking about or planning to make any changes now or in the near future. Stage 2 is, you guessed it, contemplation. At this stage, people are actively thinking about change. Now, not shown in this model is this spot right here. Usually, something happens to move folks from pre-contemplation to contemplation. It can be an internal thing, but in many cases, something external happens to get people to think seriously about change. It could be an accident or illness, or the loss of a relationship that affects them or someone close to them. The important thing to remember is that something happens to move people from pre-contemplation to thinking about changing a behavior. Stage 3 is called preparation. At this stage, people decide to make the change, and they begin to make plans to achieve that change. Some people may reach out for help at this stage. Getting help in planning the change and getting support for the change is critical at this stage. Stage 4 is the action stage, and this is where people actually make the change. They stop doing the thing that they're trying to change. They are actively changing and could be struggling quite a bit day to day, hour to hour, or early in the action stage, even minute to minute. During and just after this stage, there's another important spot that's not shown on the model. After the action stage, people can, and often do, lapse or relapse into the behavior that they were trying to change. Lapse is thinking in ways that will lead to a relapse. To relapse is to take up that behavior that you were trying to change. If there is a conscious effort at this point to re-enter the action stage, we say that a prolapse has occurred. However, if the behavior continues, folks may find themselves back in pre-contemplation, contemplation, or the preparation stage. This happens a lot, and it's a normal part of the change process. Stage 5 is the maintenance stage. At this stage, people have made the change for a period of time, and although they may still be struggling a bit, they are maintaining the change. Stage 6 is the termination or exit stage. At this stage, people have made and maintained the change for a long time and are no longer at risk of returning to the behavior. Speaking of time, it can take hours or years to progress through the stages, or even to go from one stage to the next. So, now you know that change is a process that we can look at in stages. Things happen that can motivate people to begin thinking about change, and it's normal for people to jump around within the stages. Things like relapse can move people backwards in the process. That's just how change works.